Peace and blessings to the family. It is me, Coach 67 Sports TV. Shout out to the awesome and amazing LDBC, Lions Den Broadcasting Community. Shout out to the Louisiana All-American Sports Network. Shout out to Envision Photography and Video. And shout out to the greatest university in the world, the Southern University, home of the mighty Jaguars. All right, this is my immediate post-game reaction to the live stream. My immediate post-game reaction live stream to the SWAC MEAC Challenge. I plan on being here for a good time, but not for a long time. And I know they got people like, oh man, coach, this is that. I know you hide. No, I'm like, hey, bro, I don't duck no smoke, you know what I'm saying? I'm a man of my word. I stand on business, you know what I'm saying? So, of course, StreamYard, I might have to find another way to stream my live streams because, StreamYard is tripping. I had like 3 links prior to this link that they kept just taking my links away. I don't know what the hell going on with StreamYard. StreamYard is tripping, you know what I'm saying? So, I might have to find another way to stream my live streams because I had I like to put my links to my live streams up super early, you know what I'm saying? But I put that one up, then it disappeared. Then I put another one up earlier today, disappeared again. Nah. I put up like 3 links and they all disappeared. Rod the second, he said piss poor coaching. I'm not gonna lie, Rod the second. You are 100% accurate, but really, I think it's an understatement. At one point early in the season last year, somebody said to me behind the scenes, a few people put in the chat, I didn't want to write Coach Graves off early because I'm like, early in the season last year, it was like, we're not going to get past a certain point with him as our head coach. I hate to say it, but I'm going to keep it a buck. First of all, congratulations to North Carolina Central. They won. But I think at the end of the day, I think it's more of a reflection that Trey Oliver is a way better coach than Terrence Graves. I think that's the biggest thing. Piss poor coaching, Rod the second, is 100% accurate, but even in this context, I think it's an understatement. You know what I'm saying? McCoy is not the hell no, not even close. This boy is Ladarius Skelton 2.0 at best. Jalen Woods is clearly the starting quarterback. And you would not put this boy into the end of the goddamn game. I'm so pissed because, man, this dude, I'm not going to lie. If I didn't know better, I really was thinking at certain points of the game that Terrence Graves and Mark Frederick was not trying to win the goddamn game, They wasn't trying to win as far as I'm concerned. Like I say, I'm not going to do a super long live stream because I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm highly pissed. And if North Carolina Central was just that much better than Southern, I say, all right, cool, But I think the score indicates and is a reflection on how much better the coaching was for North Carolina Central than it was for Southern. Point blank, bottom line, period. If I said anything else, I'll be lying. That's my honest assessment. Like, with Terrence Graves as your coach, I think you're only going to go so far. I know a lot of people might be saying coach is it's too early in the season to say that is a real, quick knee-jerk reaction. But the issue is you can't win under the big games. I'm not going to lie. It reminded me when I was in high school, like our head coach, my junior and senior year. We won no games in which we weren't like the favorite. Any games that were like literally 50-50 games or the other team was a little bit better, We lost all of those games as far as I was concerned. And I feel the same way about Terrence Graves. I mean, yeah, you're going to beat up on the team. You're going to win the games you should win. Maybe. But the big games, when it's time for you to step up in competition, you're not winning them games with him as coach. You know what I'm saying? And Blackwater Bayou said, I've been saying we're not going to win many games with Mark Frederick as our offensive coordinator. I agree with you, Blackwater Bayou. I'm not going to lie. This boy is a sorry ass offensive coordinator. If I told you anything else, I'd be lying to you. You know what I'm saying? And, like we've been saying, Jalen Woods is clearly a better quarterback. You're trying to stick with Cameron McCoy for what, man? Like, for what? Rod II was saying they were supposed to, bench. He put Woods in the first half. He met McCoy. I know what you meant. Coach, why I pick SU? Fired up GSU. Man, look, bro. I think the talent is there. I think the coaching isn't. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, Crazy, he showed that he ain't that guy. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. Especially Mark Frederick. Mark Frederick is trash as hell. But I'm about to get to my little review. I'm gonna just make it quick and straight to the point. Graves went on national TV and said they need to make adjustments. And they made 0 adjustments after he said that. Terrible coaching. I'm not gonna lie, the coaching is, to say hot garbage would be an understatement. To say it was complete trash is an understatement. More like toxic waste. I mean, like, bro, you can't. Come on, man, you can't. EA said, good evening, Coach. McCoy didn't play bad at all. Had two drop passes. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest with you. That last pass, you could see he threw to Darren Morris. Maybe you can say, Darren Morris dropped that one. But the two before that, I say McCoy overthrew him. You know what I'm saying? And, Shy 20 said M. Smith is not a feature back. He said Holly needed 15 to 20 touches. The best played too far off the ball and too many missed tackles. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm about to get to that in a minute. Man, salute to my brother, straight to the point. Sports and entertainment, man. Salute to your fam. Kenny Shank fam. Man, I'm not gonna lie, bro. That boy, he is trash as a punter. This boy is so trash as a punter. And I don't even like talking like that about players, but man, bro, this dude, bro. You know what I'm saying? He says the entire coaching staff, Henry Miller never made one adjustment. It was embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of feel like, especially in terms of the defensive line, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. I felt like you had Kelby Givens and 3 subs out there. You know what I'm saying? Kelby Givens and 3 subs. It's like, come on, man. Like, defensively, no adjustments. The defense couldn't stop a goddamn nosebleed. And that's the thing about it. The defense has carried Southern the last few years. The defense, they couldn't stop the run whatsoever. Couldn't stop the run. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, you couldn't stop the run. Then, your defensive backs, they play so far off. It kind of remind me back in the gap with, with P. Richardson was the head coach. Like, not that first year, but, years after that, you playing off and teams that just run to the sticks and turn around, receiver catch the ball. You know what I'm saying? But my issue wasn't so much defensively, even though, the defense stayed on the field way too damn long. And in addition to them staying on the field way too damn long, like, it just seemed like defensively, Henry Miller, he just didn't make no adjustments. They couldn't stop the run. They couldn't stop the pass. But my issue was on the offensive side of the ball. North Carolina Central, they're going on a long drive, score a touchdown to start the game. Cool. All right. Next series, Southern first series, Cameron McCoy, straight to the point, sports and entertainment say we're going to be in H-Town for the CU versus U of H game. All right. Your boy, I'm shocked that Henry Miller made 0 adjustments tonight. Not a single one, not at all, not whatsoever. Rod II said, no, Coach Woods got benched for the first half. Oh, no, Woods didn't make his first appearance till late in the game. I'm like, bro, the game is practically over. Like, why in the hell you gonna put this boy in at the end of the game? Like, bro, the boy should have been starting, in my personal opinion. Say North Carolina Central has the better coach and players. I'm gonna say the better coach, Will Wallace. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. Man, he coached circles of Ron Terrence grades at night. It ain't even no. It ain't even close. I mean, but especially on my brother live stream, Jared 11 Green with HBCU Fanatics. Like all of these things I pointed out, Southern, punting leaves a lot to be desired. Southern, from a special team standpoint, leaves a lot to be desired. Southern defense is susceptible to the run. Like I said, all of those things, but at least I felt like, from the offensive standpoint, if you're that Jalen Woods at quarterback, cool. But Cameron McCoy hit the 69-yard run for a touchdown. Cool. All right. North Carolina Central get the ball back. They drive the ball. I mean, they just ram it down Southern throat. The boy Walker, he fumbled on the 1-yard line. Southern get the ball. Then Southern don't do much. They give the ball back to him. North Carolina Central drive the ball down Southern, throw it again, and they end up settling for a field goal. Then after that, Trey Holly get an 80-yard touchdown run or whatever it was. So I'm like, all right, you cool. North Carolina Central, get the ball back. They score again. So they up 17-14. This where the trash-ass coaching really started to show, all right? Trey Holly had a long touchdown, all right? So at this point, I'm like, all right, hey, either you bring Jalen Woods in at quarterback because, at that point, I kind of felt like Cameron McCall was Ladarius Skelton again. You bring in Jalen Woods, even if you don't bring in Jalen Woods, even if you stick with Cameron McCoy, put Trey Holly back in the game. So we're just going to say Trey Holly was gassed, right? Go one of your, because Mike Franklin is like the only big physical 5 yards in a cloud of dust type of back. And maybe the next one next to him is Amarian Asbury. All the Southern running backs are like Trey Holly, but not as maybe talented, you might say. Whether we talking about Barry Remo, Jason Gabriel, Princeton K, they all kind of the same type of running backs. Instead, they're going to put Mike Franklin in the game, and they had no sense of urgency. They weren't even trying to score, if you ask me, in the first half. Like, they made no effort to really try to score. That was stupid to me. And that's what it ended up being the rest of the game. I'm thinking, all right, well, Jalen Woods going to start the second half. Jalen Woods didn't even come in and start the second half. I'm like, man, bro, this dude here, Mark Frederick, I'm just going to keep it a buck. He's just a trash-ass offensive coordinator. It's bland, it's vanilla. Really outside his own read and jet sweep and maybe quarterback draw with Cameron McCoy and a couple passes. I really didn't even see nothing they did, you know what I'm saying? B. Harris said the transfer from LSU did pretty good, the defensive tackle. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about it, though. But, I mean, for the most part, North Carolina Central, their offensive line punished Southern defensive line. No two ways about it. Southern defense stayed out on that field way too long. And when I say they stayed on the field way too long, I ain't even talking about the whole game. I'm just talking about the first quarter, definitely the first half. So, man, you can't leave your defense out there. And like I said, the issue with Cameron McCoy that I had with him starting at quarterback, for the most part, like I said, he kind of like the Darius Skelton 2.0. He's definitely more athletic than Jalen Woods. And in addition to that, he could throw you a real short pass or a deep pass. He really has no intermediate passing game from what I see. And that's the issue, you know what I'm saying? Jalen Woods come in the game, game over by that point, which to me, I felt like if you was trying to get back in the game, you'd have put him in way earlier. You down by 2 scores. First of all, she should have. I think he's starting quarterback anyway. You know what I'm saying? But even with that being said, it's like, bro, at a certain point, you got to realize, like, look, our offense is bland. Our offense is vanilla. Like, they really made no attempt at certain times to even try to pass the damn ball. And if you did, you just throw it out in the flats to your receiver. Just raise up, throw it to the receiver. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, this, and Mark Frederick is a trash offensive coordinator. And I think from a Terrence Gray standpoint, I really don't even feel like they really tried to win the game as far as I'm concerned. They made no adjustments offensively, no adjustments defensively. And that's why I'm just kind of highly pissed from the standpoint of, if North Carolina Central was that much better than Southern, I'll say, all right, cool. And I'm not trying to take nothing away from them. Even if you'd have lost, if I felt like it would have been a competitive game, cool. But to me, bro, Southern just coaching, from a coaching standpoint, just trash. Blackwater Bayou said the fourth quarter, the coaching staff just gave up. No urgency at all. Catch them. And that's the thing that pissed me off. I put that in my in our Southern Baller Show collective group chat. It was like no sense of urgency. Like, bro, you are down 31-14. And for you to just keep handing the goddamn ball off to Mike Franklin. It's like, man, what are you doing? So, man, I'm not going to lie, bro. Like, I hate to say it, but Southern has a low ceiling with Terrence Graves as the head coach. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. You know what I'm saying? But just keep it a buck, you know. Straight to the point, sports and entertainment. He said, y'all beat them on the run, but they kill y'all in passing. And that's the thing about it, though. Like, I mean, clearly they like Cameron McCoy better. You know, Cameron McCoy is a better fit for Mark Frederick's system. We said this in my last live stream, right? Back in the gap, Jalen Woods would have been a better fit for Mark Orlando's offense. But the offense they run now, clearly they want Mike Franklin as the feature back, sprinkle in Trey Holly, and they want Cameron McCoy the starting quarterback. But if I'm playing against Southern, I'm going to just, as a head coach, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to just load up the box. Hell, I'm not even going to say I'm going to play cover 1. I might play cover 0 and say, you know what? Y'all going to beat me in the passing game because y'all damn sure not going to run the ball. That's what it's going to be. Now, it worked in your favor when Trey Holly broke the line of scrimmage and there was nobody behind it, nobody behind the defensive line, and he got an open field and he scored the long touchdown. But outside of that, like, you got to consistently make them type of plays, and it's just not enough, you know what I'm saying? Your boy Jay said special teams coach got to go as well. I'm not going to lie, special teams is horrible. Like, Southern don't know when to call for a fair catch, when to just take the ball at the 20, 25-yard line. So your return game is trash. Your punter is super trash. Nathan Zimmer, he a true freshman. So, I'm trying to give him a little grace. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to lie, I think this is more of an indictment on Terrence Graves and his coaching staff. I feel like you got the talent. You damn for sure don't have to coach. You know what I'm saying? EA said, Coach, he said, McCoy gives you guys the best shot at winning, especially with your run game. Nobody defense is geared to stop the quarterback, especially if McCoy can throw deep. But that's the thing about it, though. Like, I'm going to be honest, EA, he is Ladarius Skelton 2.0. This is, and maybe for me, I done seen this. I done seen this movie already. Like, literally, this is the exact same thing you had when you had Ladarius Skelton. But the issue with Skelton is you got to the SWAC championship game. You played against Alcorn State. Yeah, Skelton made some plays with his arm, but he relied too much on his legs, for one. And second of all, when he just couldn't make enough plays with his arm to beat you, and then it led to him fumbling the ball more often than he should. Whereas I feel like if you got Jalen Woods at quarterback, you still got Mike Franklin and Trey Holly. Of course, he's not the running threat that Cameron McCoy is. However, teams just can't load up the box to say, hey, we're going to take away your running game. So I think, I think most diehard members of Jaguar Nation going to agree with me and say they honestly and fervently believe that Jalen Woods gives us the best chance to win. I think this is a kind of like a Troy Williams, Terrence Levy situation where Terrence Levy was the backup, Troy Williams was the starter, and most of the fan base wanted Terrence Levy to be the starter. And I think you got the same scenario in the same situation here. To me, I think Cameron McCoy, he a good package quarterback. If you give him packages, to run your offense at certain points, especially when you up and you just trying to punch teams in the mouth and lean on teams and grind teams out, cool. But when you playing from behind, are you even? Especially when you playing from behind like they were tonight, man, you gotta put Jalen Woods in the game. It's no two ways about it. Straight to the point, Sports and Entertainment, he said they had the edge on first down, big time. I'm not gonna lie, really, it wasn't until maybe like late in the first half that they had their first third down. I'm like, bro, come on, man. Southern defense, man, this ain't the same defense. But the thing about it is, I kind of feel like, I'm going to be honest with you, I felt like it was Kelvin Givens and 3 subs at certain points in the game. At a lot of points in the game. And then not only that, but on top of that, but guess what? It is what it is. Rod the second said, EA, McCoy ain't shit. He's 23 and couldn't beat out the kid that's at Jackson, which is why he left. Be for real. Rod the second said, Woods missed the bus. Yeah, all right. Willie Bolden. Of course, Willie Bolden said, we look ugly, coach. I agree 100%. Super ugly is more of an accurate description. Woods missed the bus. That's cool. He didn't get to play the first half. You punish him the first half. But if you're trying to win a goddamn game, all right, hey, you sat the first half. Now you bring your ass in the game. Hey, I done been on that road. I've done that. You know what I'm saying? By the second said exactly what Bolden said. EA said, Coach, your cornerbacks played too far off. I said that already. And he said, operated slow in man-to-man coverage. Number 7, number 5, barbecue chicken. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. The defensive backs played way off. They talked a lot about Elijah West. He didn't do nothing. The boy Trillin, what's his face? He didn't do nothing. I'm not going to lie, hey. It is what it is. Willie Bolden said, when you kick the pooch kick right before half. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be honest with you. From a coaching standpoint, I just felt like they did just a lot of just stupid, nonsensical, dumb stuff. You know what I'm saying? Spartan 35 said, Coach, I told you that the Jaguars would get break dust beat off y'all. Y'all can't beat any decent. Man, look, bro. Spartan 35. First of all, you say I was ducking smoke. I ain't ducking no smoke. Spartan 35, this is the truth. The truth is that the coaching staff tonight was extra super trash. Terrence Graves, he let Mark Frederick call a trash offensive game. You got the wrong quarterback in the whole damn game. In addition to, not only that, there were certain points in the game, you got the wrong damn back in the game. When you're trying to score at the end of the first half, there was no sense of urgency. You got less than a minute left. You think, hey, you would be in 2-minute offense. Instead of having the back that just scored a long-ass touchdown against North Carolina Central in the game. No, he ain't got Trey Holland in the game. He got Mike Franklin in the game. There's no sense of urgency. It's no 2-minute offense. It's like, man, come on, hey, we just taking a walk out in the park. So if anything, it didn't show me that North Carolina Central that much better than Southern. It showed me that Trey Oliver is that much better than Terrence Graves as far as I'm concerned. And like I said this last year, beginning of last year, I'm like, well, it's too early for me to say Terrence Graves. Terrence Graves done showed in close game, big game after big game after big game. Yeah, you could beat Texas Southern, you could beat Valley, you could beat them type of teams. But when you step up in competition, you ain't doing nothing. And guess what? It ain't a player thing. It's a coaching thing as far as I'm concerned. Rod the second said they made no effort because McCoy can't throw. I mean, that's what I'm telling you, Rod the second. He is Ladarius Skelton 2.0. I don't care what nobody say. That's what Ladarius Skelton was. Ladarius Skelton could throw you a short like pass. He could just raise up, throw you the ball in the flats. Or if not, he could throw the ball 50, 60, 70 yards down the field. There was no intermediate passes with Ladarius Skelton. Ladarius Skelton couldn't make intermediate passes. Ladarius Skelton was either real short or real deep, and then he made a lot of plays with his legs. The issue with Ladarius Skelton was, like I said, you pretty much beat most teams you should beat. But when it was time for you to get to Alcorn State, he couldn't get over that hump. He made enough plays with his arm against everybody else to say, all right, cool. But when it was time to play against that savage defense in Alcorn State, guess what? And essentially, you're in the same boat. And Southern is not winning the big games with Terrence Graves, with Mark Frederick as your goddamn trash-ass offensive coordinator. Got a sorry-ass kicker with Kenny Lee, fam. The defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. They made no adjustments. Man, it was sad. You know what I'm saying? Your boy Jay said, how does Mark Frederick get back on the bus? He was terrible. Beat reporters will point out all he runs is go routes. I mean, that's the thing about it, brother. This is, honestly, I wouldn't even say it's a high school offense. This is a middle school offense at this point. You know what I'm saying? Rod the second said, against Spartan 35, the QB on the bench because of the dumbass coaching. I say the same thing, man. I'm not going to lie. You know what I'm saying? Spartan 35, North Carolina Central but guess what? If anything, North Carolina Central, Spartan 35, let me just tell you what it is. Trey Oliver took his belt off and he whipped Terrence Graves' ass. That's what it was. He put belt to ass. And then he put more belt to Mark Frederick ass with his garbage ass play calling. You know what I'm saying? Sorry ass offense. I mean, we knew this was his play calling was an issue last year, but at this point, bro, this is intolerable. You know what I'm saying? Your boy Jay says Southern has a LSU and Washington transfer on the D line and didn't play neither one of those guys. That's what I said, your boy Jay. That's another thing that pissed me off. That's why I said, I'm gonna be honest with you. There were points in the game where I really legitimately felt like you had Kelby Gibbons and 3 substitute players on your defensive line. You had no goddamn pass rush whatsoever. You had no pass rush. You couldn't stop the run. You're on the goal line, and guess what? Man, instead of this boy getting sacked, this boy just holding the ball, and he just make the pass, throw the touchdown. I'm like, come on, man. This is trash. Your boy Jay said we have an offensive lineman converted to defensive tackle as a starting defensive tackle. That's horrible coaching. Man, I'm not going to lie, but Southern got exposed Southern got exposed big time tonight from a coaching staff standpoint. As a coaching staff, they really, 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 really got exposed as far as I'm concerned. I mean, we knew if teams wanted to move the ball last year against Southern, you know, you line up, you run the ball, you punch them in the mouth. We knew, you know, your punter left a lot to be desired. You knew you got 4 starters coming back offensively on the offensive line. You got good receivers. The better quarterback set for like literally, you know, 3.5 quarters of the game. If he missed the bus, cool. I understand it. You punish him the first half. You don't bench him the whole damn game. Rod the second, you are 100% accurate. He was only supposed to be benched the first half, Willie Bowden. I agree with you 100%. That's how they handled it. Literally, I had players that literally got in trouble. And I know it's middle school, comparing middle school, junior high to college is different. But guess what? When my players did something stupid, I punish you the first half. I don't punish you the whole damn game to prove a point, you know what I'm saying? Especially if I'm trying to win. That's what I feel. I really don't feel like they really was trying to win. And you down, bro. You down 31-14. There's no sense of urgency. No 2-minute offense. You just walking to the line of scrimmage. It's like, come on, man. Like, bro. Spartan 35 say right the second. The last QB was all right. The first QB is fast. But he can't hit the bro. That's what Spartan 35. I've been saying that the whole damn live stream. Cameron McCoy is a glorified running back playing quarterback. He can throw the ball deep. He can throw the ball real short and real deep. Southern had this quarterback in 2019. Southern went to the SWAC championship game and lost to Alcorn State. His name was Ladarius Skelton. Cameron McCoy is Ladarius Skelton 2.0. That's the point I'm trying to make. I have seen this movie already. Jalen Woods is the starting quarterback. It's no two ways about it. You know what I'm saying? You can't get around that. You know what I'm saying? Your boy Jay say Woods missed the bus, and you sacrifice your team's chances to win to prove a point. Graves has to apologize to the fan base. I'm not gonna lie. This could kind of be a Eric Dooley moment for Terrence Graves as far as I'm concerned. It's like, bro, you really trying to prove a point this bad, bro? There's no way. Willie Bolden say this is a Dooley second season all over. I agree with you, Willie Bolden, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm highly pissed tonight. Because, like I say, if North Carolina Central was just that much better than you, cool. I would be cool with that. But from a coaching standpoint, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Terrence Graves, man, you look like trash as a head coach tonight. Your boy Jay said this definitely has Dooley's second season written all over it. If he loses to Alabama State and Jackson State back to back, I'm not gonna lie. Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. First of all, they need to go to Valley and they need to really make a statement. But you got to beat Alabama State and Jackson State. I'm telling you right, I said this in a couple of live streams. Like, stuff could get real ugly real quick for Terrence Graves. At least last year they turned it around. But, bro, you can't have another season like that in terms of, getting punched in the mouth by Nickel State. Like, you can't have them type of losses. And this is, you play it on national TV and you look like trash as a head coach. You know what I'm saying? Sport 35 said if you subtract the two big runs, Southern didn't do anything tonight. But that's the problem, though, Sport 35. The better quarterback was sitting on the bench. Like Willie Bolden said, like basically you trying to prove a point to Jalen Woods, but you sacrifice the game. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a coach that has been in tight games or been down and I'm trying to get back. To me, I'm gonna be honest with you. It don't even look like they was trying to win a game. Like, there was no sense of urgency whatsoever. None. Somebody said if you take away the two runs, we barely have 100 yards of offense. That's the thing about it. Like, with Cameron McCoy in the game, the offense is extremely pedestrian. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I'm SWAC teams, I'm just anybody else. If I see Cameron McCoy in the game, this is what I'm doing. I'm loading up the goddamn box. I'm not even playing cover one. I'm playing cover 0. Show me you can beat me throwing the ball. It's that simple. Point blank, bottom line, period. Show me you could beat me throwing the ball. Teams used to do that when Ladarius Skelton was a starting quarterback. And it was to the point where even at that point in time, when you would take Skelton out of the game, you put Lampley in. Lampley is a pure pocket passer. If you let him sit back, he was going to kill you. But if you just load up the box and blitz him, he can get out the way of the blitz. But at least with Jalen Woods, when you got Jalen Woods in the game, when you got Mike Franklin and Trey Holly running back, you could run the ball. But Jalen Woods is a much better passer than Cameron McCoy. And not only that, he's a much better intermediate passer. I mean, at one point, Jalen Woods drop back the pass. He come in the game late, drop back the pass. He step up in the pocket, and he throw a dime, like a nice little intermediate pass. Man, Cameron McCoy does not have those tools in his toolbox. Point blank, bottom line, period. Your boy Jay said we have no passing plays. It's all go routes and RPO. Man, and that's the thing about it, man. Like I said, Mark Frederick is a trash offensive coordinator. Sport 35 says Southern should just run the triple option and call it a day. Hell nah, man. You ain't beat nobody in 2025 running no goddamn triple option, Sport 35. No way in his hell. Your boy Jay said the stadium was 85% Southern, and this product you're paying fan base. Graves has to answer to this. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, E. Walker said, what I miss? Yeah, you miss Southern's head coach Terrence Graves looking like trash. That's what you miss. North Carolina Central won 31-14, but at the end of the day, you know, Southern's defense couldn't stop a nosebleed, but it's a real indictment on Mark Frederick as an offensive coordinator. Just look like complete utter trash. You know, you got some dog running backs, but you had to glorify running back playing quarterback. You know, it is what it is. Eugene Robinson, no sense of urgency before half, looked lost on that drive. And that's the thing that pissed me off. It wasn't just the fact that, you know, you got a minute and some change, and you're not no huddle, you're not in hurry up, you're not hurry offense, you're not in your 2-minute offense. But like Trey Holly had a long run. At that point, you can't say he's still tired. And even if he is still tired, every other running back that Southern has on the roster, besides Mike Franklin and Mario Asbury, they all cut from that same cloth, the same prototype. Whether we talking about Princeton Cahee, whether we talking about Jason Gabriel, or we talking about Barry Remo, they all smallish, third down speed type backs. Why you didn't put one of them other backs in the game? You know what I'm saying? No 2-minute offense. And like I said, you know, y'all pointed out the fact that Jalen Woods missed the bus. Cool. Man, you don't punish the whole damn team. You put the quarterback in the game that gives you the best chance to win. You punish him the first half, cool. The second half start, put the boy in the game. So that's the thing that pissed me off, you know what I'm saying? Your boy Jay said, we should have known Graves wasn't the guy when he said he lets his assistant do everything. He just listens. Man, look, bro. He is like, he don't have a Jimmy Johnson type coaching staff to say, I'm going to be the CEO of this organization and I'm going to let Dave Wannstedt and all these assistant coaches just do their thing. He don't have that kind of coaching staff to be their hands off. You can't say I'm the CEO of this organization and I'm going to just sit back and let them do what they do. You don't have that kind of coaching staff to be their hands off. There's no way in the hell, especially when you got a trash-ass offensive coordinator like Mark Frederick, you know what I'm saying? And salute to my brother Jay Good. A lot of stuff he was saying, a lot of stuff I'm saying, you know, we were saying in the group chat, but, you know, Shy 20 said, since the late 80s, SU has had a hard time winning outside a SWAC game. Well, I mean, I can't say that because guess what? I went to a Heritage Bowl in 90-something when they beat South Carolina State. I was at A.W. Mumford Stadium when they beat Hampton or whoever they were. That was Hampton that came that night. So, yeah, I done seen Southern win a lot of games. Maybe if you say since maybe about 2013, I'll say yeah. But I'm not gonna say the 80s, the 80s or the late 80s. I ain't gonna say that. Your boy Jay said that 2-minute drive before halftime looked just like Dooley versus FAMU in 2023. I agree 100%. Your boy Jay. Oh shoot, hold on. EA said a 7-yard punt broke the game open early in the third. And that's the thing about it. EA, if he just would have had like one shank in these last couple of years, cool. This boy done had a few shanks. And then I seen him fussing at other people. I'm like, dude, there's a reason why you transferred from Alcorn State to Southern. Because you are a terrible punter. Point blank, bottom line, period. Your boy JC, we've been saying Kenny Pham was bad punter for 2 seasons and Graves did nothing to bring in competition. They said he tried to, like the first week of camp, they said he tried to bring in another punter. He offered another punter a scholarship, but the punter wasn't interested in coming to Southern. But you right, though, your boy, Jay. Like, this boy was super trash last year. This boy had 28-yard punt, 29-yard punt, 30, 31, 30, 32, 33-yard. I mean, at one point, I remember this boy, his longest punt on the whole damn season was like 33 yards. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, man, I know high school punters right now, currently as we speak, that could punt the ball at least 40 yards. This dude can't even punt the ball 35 goddamn yards. Spartan 35 said SU does have a lot of talent, but the SU coaching isn't up to par. That's an understatement, Spartan 35. Terrence Graves, tonight he showed he a trash-ass coach. Mark Frederick is a lousy-ass offensive coordinator. Henry Miller didn't really make no adjustments tonight. Some of the better defensive linemen, I'm not going to lie, I really feel like they sacrificed this game. Like, from a coaching standpoint, just looking at it, you know, as a coach, I always had like a certain sense of urgency when I'm losing, when I'm down. I didn't see that sense of urgency from the coaching staff collectively as a whole tonight. You know what I'm saying? And he said, like you said, Coach, if you give SU the Nickel State coaching staff, they win us. And that's the thing about it. That's the thing that pissed me off. Like, year before last, if Nickel State would have beat Southern the way they beat them, I'd say, all right, but guess what? Nickel's that team. But Nickel's last year, especially after they played like LSU, like the week or two prior to that, man, for Nickel State to come to AW Mumford Stadium and beat the break after that point last year. But tonight, man, you're on a national stage. And like I said, if North Carolina Central was just that much better than Southern, I'd have been like, well, hey, they just a way better team. And even and the thing about it is, even if North Carolina Central would have won, like, we're gonna say 31-21 or even 31-24, I'd have been like, cool. But the offense, all this talent you got on offense, bro, just for you to just be pedestrian. Really, you take away the long run by Cameron McCoy, and you take away the long run by Trey Holly, and a couple physical runs for Mike Franklin. Like, the offense didn't do a whole lot. And then when it really got to the point in the second half where Trey Oliver and his staff made their adjustments defensively, and they're like, all right, well, hey, you're not going to beat us running the ball. Like, it was game over. And instead of them saying, all right, well, hey, we're going to make the adjustment and we're going to put Jalen Woods in the game, you just stick with Cameron McCoy. And that's the thing that just pissed me off. It was like they didn't even try to win, you know what I'm saying? Man, salute to Joseph David. He said Mark Frederick didn't show me much other than 2 home run plays. What was the offense? That's the thing, Joseph David. Like, there was no offense. Mark Frederick is a trash offensive coordinator, you know, and I'm standing on that all day long. It's like, come on, bro. Like, you got to show me something. Your boy Jay said Mark Frederick was bad at PV. Graves hired him because that's his friend. He literally said that when he got hired. But this is the thing about it. I got friends in coaching. Guess what? If I know my friend is a trash coach, man, up there at the end of the day, I'm trying to win. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to get fired and my friend going to get fired. So neither one of us going to have a goddamn job. Man, come on, man. Stupid. No slack in the SWAC podcast. He said, man, if SU play like that next Saturday, Valley going to get them. Buckle up. I agree with you. No slack in the SWAC podcast, man. Salute to you. Willie Bolden said the great home schedule moneymaker is out the window. Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. It's to the point now. Like, you know, us saying that Southern got all these big games at home, Alabama State, Jackson State, FAMU. I'm to the point, I'm like, the hell with that. Because based on what I saw tonight, if they coach like this the rest of the season, you ain't winning none of them games. You're not beating Alabama State. You're not beating Jackson State. If they don't fix a lot of crap, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm at the point now where, shit, you might as well just demote Mark Frederick, the running back coach, and even though Fred Minette really being a play caller, really in this thing, you might as well make him your offensive coordinator now. I mean, you really need to make that adjustment right now, because the way you're going offensively, man, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it through the tough games in this way. Your boy Jay said that's the young man hometown. All his family and friends were there, and you bench him like that. Basically trying to humiliate the kid, all because he missed the bus. Come on now. And that's the thing about it. An adequate punishment for missing the bus is I'm benching you for the first half. Not I'm benching you for 3.5 quarters. Man, come on, man. Man, salute to my brother Willie Bolden. He said, SU never looks prepared at the first of the season. Why? I mean, that's the thing about it. To me, I think that's an indictment on the coaching. You know, because guess what? I'm going to be honest with you. Like, you know, I'm trying to hit the ground running, and I'm trying to have you ready out the gate. And realistically, I'm not even going to say the players didn't look ready. I'm going to say from a coaching standpoint, they look lost. You know what I'm saying? And based on the deficiency, and I'm not going to lie, the thing that just kind of pissed me off, looking at Trey Oliver and his coaching staff, they made adjustments. I didn't see no adjustments whatsoever from Coach Graves and his entire coaching staff. The offensive coordinator is trash. You know what I'm saying? And your offensive coordinator is trash. He didn't make no adjustment defensively. Willie Bolden said our wide receivers are trash. I disagree with you on that, Willie Bolden. You got to have the quarterback in the game that can get him the ball. Now, Darren Morris dropped the one long pass, but those two previous long passes before that, Cameron McCoy just overthrew him. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, your receivers really wasn't going to be a factor because you got the quarterback in the game that's all he can do is throw the ball real short or real deep. So every pass was like really, literally like right at the line of scrimmage or like 40, 50, 60 yards down the field. There was no intermediate passing game. You didn't use a whole route tree. You're only using one or two routes, and that's it. So that's why like the offense is just so trash, so basic, so vanilla. Either zone read option, throw the ball deep, or throw the ball extremely short. There's no in between. It's nothing else. You know what I'm saying? And really, I was surprised they even ran a few jet sweeps tonight. The problem is with the few jet sweeps you ran them at inopportune times. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, Coach, I agree with you. But SWAC DC are not the smartest game planners and will allow McCoy to make plays seen it for decades. No, I ain't gonna lie. I agree with you on that. And that was one of the issues I used to have when Coach P. Richardson would step outside of the SWAC, like a few people mentioned earlier. Like you play against like McNeese State. Just think about it. Southern has never beaten McNeese State. The last two times Southern played McNeese State, Southern was winning those games handily and blew both of them games. So it's like even Coach Richardson, they play against PWIs, whether it was against Tulane in a Big Easy Classic, whether you're playing against Nickel State, Northwestern State. Once Northwestern State really got it going in the late 90s, because, in the early 90s, man, Southern just were punishing Northwestern. But at the end, man, Northwestern was beating Southern ass. So I don't know what it is, but, SWAC coaches, when they play against PWIs, I ain't gonna lie. If I'm playing against Cameron McCoy, the hell with cover one. I'm playing cover 0. This boy got to beat me past it. That's why I really feel like if you don't start Jalen Woods next Saturday, you ain't trying to win as far as I'm concerned. You know what I'm saying? Your boy Jay said our wide receivers were wide open, dropping passes all game. Yeah, but your boy Jay, the issue with that is they got the quarterback in the game that ain't really the passer. You know what I'm saying? And they was dropping all these passes with Jalen Woods at quarterback. I said, yeah, we got a problem. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Jackson said, what game Coach Gray is going to get his walking papers? Coach Frederick. No disrespect. No, I'm going to keep it a buck, Mr. Jackson. Hey, if they don't win next week against Valley, it could get real ugly real quick. I mean, and the thing about it, the Valley game ain't going to be no walkover. I could tell you that now. So, you got Valley, you got Bama State, you got Jackson State. Man, hey, Jaguar Nation, we do not tolerate mediocrity. And, I know people saying, oh, this is his second year, you got to give him some time. But that's the thing about it. From a coaching standpoint, Coach Graves has shown that he's trash. And more than anything, your offensive coordinator is super trash. At least Henry Miller's defense has been carrying the team the last 2 years. They look like trash tonight. They stayed on the field most of the damn game. I'm not going to lie. North Carolina Central, in terms of time of possession, man, they dominated Southern. So, man. And Willie Bolden said, Holly is no running back. Holly is no running back by committee. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. When you got a game breaker like that, you can't. And I'm going to be honest with you. That's the thing that let me know Coach Graves ain't as smart as I think he is. Because I'm going to just be truthful. No disrespect to Kobe Dillon. Kendrick Grimes was by far the best running back Southern had last year. And that back by committees crap. That's some bull crap. Kobe Dillon got the most touches. And Kendrick Grimes was by far the best running back. He did it again tonight. He did it last year. Southern played against Bethune. Kendrick Grimes had a long run for a touchdown. It got called back for holding. Guess what? The next 10 carries go to Kobe Dillon and C.J. Russell. By the time Kendrick Grimes got to touch the ball again. Kendrick Grimes had no rhythm. I mean, don't get me wrong. He went to, I know when you have a long one like that, you need that back to catch his breath. But man, look, you don't wait like almost another quarter before Kendrick Grimes get another touch. The same thing tonight. Trey Holly had a long one for a touchdown. Boom. Right? North Carolina Central, they score. You get the ball back at the end of the first half. What they do, they put Mike Franklin back in the game. You got less than a minute left. I'm sorry, you got less than 2 minutes left. No 2-minute offense. No hurry offense. No sense of urgency. It's like, come on, man. It just looks so trash, you know what I'm saying? And Spartan 35 say clock management at the end of the first half was bad for Southern. SU could have scored before the end of the first half. Yeah, I say the same thing already at Spartan 35. Like, Coach Gray's clock management is trash. And, if that's what he's saying, hey, Mark Frederick is my friend and I got him on the staff. Like, hey, bro, you and your goddamn friend, both of y'all gonna get fired. I'm gonna be honest with you. You can easily see Fred McNair being your interim head coach at some point. The way we going right now. You know what I'm saying? Your boy Jay, Frederick lied about riding with the hot hand. All he does is line interviews. I'm not gonna lie, he getting to the point where he kind of getting Eric Dooley-ish right now. You know what I'm saying? Eugene Robinson says Southern was 2 good throws away from a 28-31 ball game. And that's the thing about it. Like, you down 31-14. There was no sense of urgency in terms of, hey, let's run the ball. Let's run the ball. Let's just, hey, we just gonna run the ball. Like, come on, man, you are down. You're not trying to. I mean, I don't care what nobody say. They weren't even trying to get back in the game. It's like you gave up. You had a defeated look on your face. Jalen Woods looked so pissed on the sideline. Bruh, if you benching me for 3.5 quarters because I missed a goddamn bus, I mean, what's going to happen when one of these players does something major? Hell, you just going to suspend them for 2-3 games, huh? Come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? Your boy Jay said the Southern team and that's my issue with this whole game, your boy Jay. If Southern was just a trash team, I could say, all right, well, hey, North Carolina Central just beat up on a trash team. But from a talent standpoint, Southern is loaded far too often in the game. I feel like you didn't play your better defensive lineman. And in addition to that, offensively, you didn't make no real adjustments. You didn't make the adjustment at quarterback. Just nothing. I mean, that's why I'm just so pissed. If North Carolina Central was just that much better than Southern, I'd say, yeah, North Carolina Central just a way better team. These are 2 evenly matched teams. For you to get your ass beat 31-14, it's an indictment on how trash the coaching was tonight. And that's the thing that just pisses me off. You say this team is a talented team, North Carolina Central, but the coaching is drastically different. I'm not going to lie. Trey Oliver is so much a better coach than Terrence Graves. It was obvious tonight. That's the thing that stood out to me. Your boy Jay said they brought Henry Miller down from the press box, and nothing changed. It got worse, actually. It really did. And another thing that made it worse is the fact that you couldn't get stops on defense. You going 3 and out on offense, and your defense is just living on the field. And they just kind of just constantly just running the ball down your throat, running the ball down your throat, running the ball down your throat. Hey, y'all make a stop in terms of stopping us from running the ball. Y'all playing 10 yards off. We just going to raise up, throw the ball. It was pitch and catch and run the ball down your throat. That was it. Joseph Davis said, it's good to have big D tackles, but they aren't athletic also. What's the point? And see, that's the thing. That's the issue. The issue is really, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to say this again. There were points tonight where I felt like you had Kelby Givens and 3 substitute defensive linemen. You got 3 substitute defensive linemen and Kelby Givens. That's why he just was so gassed. He looked frustrated. And the thing about it is, you got to have guys that's in the middle that could clog up the middle. But they got to be able to rush the passer too. And it's like, realistically, your defensive line minus Kelby Givens, they couldn't do neither one of them. They couldn't stop the run, and they couldn't rush the passer. So it's like, what are we really doing? You know what I'm saying? Joseph Davis said, yeah, I read that already. My bad. Your boy Jay said, we have athletic defensive tackles. We refuse to play them for whatever reason. I'm gonna be honest with you, your boy Jay. People might say coach tripping, but I'm telling you, I honestly and fervently believe. I don't really think they was trying to win tonight. Maybe they're trying to show, hold something for some of the bigger games. But I really don't feel like they really was trying to win. You know what I'm saying? E. Walker said, I wasn't close. We fumbled the ball in the end zone. And I'm not gonna lie, E. Walker. Realistically, prior to that fumble, like Southern was on the field for 26 offensive snaps. So North Carolina Central completely dominated the time of possession, and every time they got the ball in the red zone, except for that one fumble, they scored. So like Southern defense, their defense has carried you the last few years. They just look bad tonight. You know what I'm saying? And my brother Jerry Lovin Green, man, y'all go check him out tomorrow. We're gonna do the Southern Baller Show. He said I was heated when they finally put in Jalen Woods in the fourth quarter, and it was too late. I'm not even an SU fan. He said I predict the score was gonna be. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. On SBCU Fanatics, my brother Jerry Lovin Green, he did say 31-14, but I thought it was gonna be a close game, and then he was pull away. But man, just for them not even try to win a game, that's the part that pissed me off. Your boy Jay said Eric Reed Jr. should have come in for Traylon James. They were picking on him all game. I'm not gonna lie. Traylon James just looked like barbecue chicken. Like they really was going in on him. I'm like, damn, bro. Like you look like Darnell Henderson from years ago, bro. Like, what are we doing here? B. Harris said Ricky Collins is available. Y'all need to get him out the portal for him to do a homecoming. Man, I'm not gonna lie, B. Harris. I'm just pissed. I mean, I don't know what to say. EA said, Coach, check the news. They live showing some guy on top of the Pontchartrain Bridge with an SU shirt on, threatening to jump. They say it's Crook. Oh man, EA, bro. Man, why you gotta do that to my dog Adrian Cook, man? Man, you wild for that, EA. man, y'all cold-blooded, bro. Your boy Jay said Graves talked about adjustments, but did nothing. Jay Walker was laughing and pointed out how Graves said it, but did nothing different. And I'm not gonna lie, Jay Walker is not. I don't think he high on Southern anyway. You know what I'm saying? Jerry Love when he said enough. I mean, he said even though I picked North Carolina Central, they are very big. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna lie, and that's the thing that pissed me off. Is like if they were that much better, cool. You know what I'm saying? But man, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, salute to MEAC Mike. He said listening in, SC would be all right. It's only game one. It was a good game. Now, this is my issue, MEAC Mike. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Salute to you. I'm gonna keep it a buck. My issue is the fact that from a coaching standpoint, like Coach Graves looked real bad, and every time Southern steps up in competition, like just go back and look at the game. Go back to last year. That's what I'm saying. The first game last year, you lead 85% of the game against McNeese State, and you blow that game and you throw it away, right? You lose to Nicholls State. The first time you play Jackson State, they beat you 33-15. And I'm not gonna lie, the 33-15 score, the first time you play Jackson State, it is really, they gave you a lot of grace. Because I'm not gonna lie, Coach TC Taylor, if he wanted to smash the gas on you and really prove a point, like they smashing Southern the first time they played, right? Then, the season progressed. In the worst part of the season, the worst loss, I was cool with the 33-15 loss to Jackson State, but you just get destroyed by Nicholls State. Man, I can't stand Nicholls State. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Y'all might say I'm wrong for this. Man, I'd rather lose to Grambling than lose to Nicholls State. I mean, I'm dead serious about it. I can't stand when SWAC teams lose to PWIs, but Southland Conference teams in particular, it just pissed me off to no extent. So, like, every time you step up in competition as a coach, like, you get exposed. So that's my issue with the loss tonight. You know what I'm saying? Your boy Jay said SU gotta win by 20 plus points versus Valley because if they struggle, it's going to get very spooky for Graves. The fan base is already calling for him to be fired. I'm not gonna lie. Like last year, literally a year ago today, I was pissed about the loss because I'm driving from Lake Charles to Baton Rouge with wet underwear and wet socks on. I can't stand that. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna give him some graces early. But the second year in a row, like, nah, bro, you can't look this bad. Week 0. Your boy Jay said Graves is like a politician, says all the right things, but when it's time to do a job, it's the complete opposite. I agree with you. I'm not gonna lie. Remind me of somebody I was in a relationship with, said all the right things, but guess what? Hey, her actions never aligned with her words. So I'm always gonna say the right thing, but actions and words never align. I can't stand it. You know what I'm saying? Blackwater Bayou said, as Southern fans, we need to be shopping for a new coach because Graves and staff ain't it this year. I'm gonna keep it 100. I think your next interim coach is on staff. I'm saying it right now. I'm saying it early. Man, you might as well. Graves might as well be looking around right now. You need to get rid of his ass. And guess what? Fred McNair is your next head coach. I'm just saying it right now. I'm throwing it out there. Some people might say, Coach, you just saying this in the heat of the moment. I am dead ass serious. It's going to come to a point where if Southern really starts out 1-5, 1-6, man, you might well make Fred McNair your interim coach. I'm going to just keep it a buck. Stuart Darrell said, Southern has no offense. Yeah, because you know why? Stuart Darrell, that they have no offense, they got a trash-ass offensive coordinator. That's why. You know what I'm saying? Blackwater Bayou said, all I want for Christmas is a new coaching staff. I'm not going to lie. I'll make Fred McNair my next coach, and I'll let him get his own coaching staff. Willie Bolden said we could not tell. And that's another thing, too. Man, they missed an ass of tackles, Willie Bolden. Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just missed so many damn tackles. You know what I'm saying? EA Walker, thumbs up. EA said for Givens, if he was looking at 6 figures at, P4 level, he said you have to take the money instead of coming back to that. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think he thought it was going to be this bad. But not only that, but, they talked about this. I don't know if it was on Carlos Brown's show on the radio somewhere I heard. Like, they basically, he felt like it wasn't about the money. It was about how, at Southern and HBCUs, it's like a family atmosphere. And he said that appealed to him more than the money. He feel like he gonna make it to the NFL and he gonna do good. And I'm not gonna lie, I hope this young man just kills it the rest of the season and he gets drafted in the high in the NFL, like second, third round, and he get him a bag. Because as far as I'm concerned, I felt bad for him tonight because there were points in the game, like I said. It felt like 3 substitute defensive linemen and Kelby Givens, and that was it. Willie Bolden said Givens can say goodbye to his national honors. I'm not gonna lie, if the defense keep playing as bad, yeah. Willie Bolden said Herman Bristol III looked rough too. Yeah. Your boy Jay said Ricky Collins ain't coming to Southern to be coached by Mark Fredericks. No scheme having ass. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Man, my damn middle school spread offense looked better than that trash Southern ran tonight. Yeah, I know what you were saying, Willie Bolden. That Herman Bristol III. Really, outside of that knockaway, he really didn't do much either. You know what I'm saying? And your boy Jay said people forget this is basically Dooley's staff outside of Fred McNair and 2 other coaches. And that was a valid point because usually, when you fire a coach, like you burn it down, you give it the whole staff. Your boy Jay makes a phenomenal point. This is essentially Eric Dooley's entire coaching staff, for the exception of Fred McNair and a couple of other coaches. So that's a phenomenal point. You know what I'm saying? Jared Lovin Green, my brother, he said Willie Bolden, he did, and he is my guy. And MEAC Mike said Nichols upstate. Yeah, I saw they They upset whatchamacallit. Southern pound for pound probably has one of the best backfields in FCS. And that's the crazy thing about it. Like, you know, we talked about it coming into the season. I felt like from a talent standpoint, MEAC Mike, that Southern was going to be so good from a talent standpoint that Mark Frederick's trash play calling and scheme, it wasn't really going to impact anything. But I ain't gonna lie, I was wrong. I could admit right now I was wrong. Mark Frederick got to go at offensive coordinator. And I'm not gonna lie, this has kind of been like a 65-minute rant session in terms of, just me being so pissed about how trash Southern coaching staff looked tonight. But we're getting ready to shut it down unless we keep the chat rolling. Time to be men. They trying to run that old Mark Orlando scheme. I'm not gonna lie, time to be men. Mark Frederick offense is way more bland, way more vanilla, and way worse than Mark Frederick. It's as bad as I thought Mark Frederick offense was at times years ago. I'm not gonna lie, I would, man, hell, I'll give whatever I got in my back pocket to get Mark Frederick out of here and Mark Orlando back. It's that bad offensively. You know what I'm saying? And EA said, Coach, even if you lose to Mississippi Valley, it's not a conference game. It don't count. No, I'm not gonna lie. Jaguar Nation, we are not gonna be content with losing the Valley. I'm not gonna lie. If he loses the Valley, he might get fired. Because you had such a poor showing tonight. It might be too early to give him the hook. But if you lose the Valley, then Bama State, then Jackson State, shit, man, hey, bro. And you know you're gonna lose to Fresno State. I hate to say it, but you're gonna lose to Fresno State. Man, hey, bro. If you 0-6, 1-5, man, that's gonna get you fired in Baton Rouge. Hey, the same thing applies across town. Let Brian Kelly, let LSU get their head kicked in by Clemson, and they're going on a losing streak. They're gonna get rid of his ass quick, fast, in a hurry, and that's what it is in Baton Rouge. The fan base demands excellence on both sides of town. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, your boy Jay say losing the Valley is grounds of termination. We have to win and win big. No, hey, that's what got Stump Mitchell ass fired. Man, salute to my brother Brent Fox. Man, y'all go over to his channel and check out my brother Brent Fox. But I'm not gonna lie, losing the Valley, man, that'll get your ass fired. You cannot lose the Valley. And don't get me wrong, I know Terrell Buckley, from what I'm understanding, like they looking a lot better than they did last year this time. But even with that being said, man, losing the Valley get Terrence Gray's ass fired. Larry June said, D-line, very subpar. I'm not gonna lie. It was Kelby Gibbons and 3 substitute defensive line. Larry June said, secondary cannot tackle, not whatsoever. Not only can they not tackle, they can't cover. They played 10 yards off the whole damn game. Man, come on. He said, y'all better not lose to the Delta Devils. Oh, no, I can tell you right now. If Southern loses to Mississippi Valley, Terrence Graves is getting fired. Mark my words. So they better not lose. Larry June said the O-line subpar. I mean, O-line, SU, par. I'm not going to lie. I think the offensive line decent. I think the biggest issue is the trash-ass offensive coordinator. That's the issue. That's the biggest issue. Johnny Thornton said, Coach, I know you Jaguars are frustrated, but please don't overreact too soon. But guess what? This the issue, though, Johnny Thornton. I said the exact same thing last year. In a year, like, you led 85% of the game against McNeese State. And you piss away a game, you was leading the whole damn game. Damn near. Now, a year later, you play on national television. Man, hey, they had so many gold shirts in that stadium. And for you to put on a performance like this, I'm not going to lie, Johnny Thornton, Terrence Graves didn't do himself no favors tonight. Like, he shot himself in the foot big time. Larry June said, Holly is okay. He is the savior. I mean, he can't save the whole team by himself, you know what I'm saying? Troy Lee LeBlanc said, what happened to us? Trash-ass head coach, that's what happened to us. Tyler Beard, man, he said he needs someone with a Kyle Shanahan style mind. I mean, Kyle Shanahan mindset. But the issue is, I mean, he really trying to stick with this boy, Mark Frederick. Mark Frederick is not it as an offensive coordinator. You know what I'm saying? Larry June said, Holly is not the savior. He is okay. Missed tackle and boom. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. He did break a tackle and he took it to the house. Man, shout out to SWAC and the fool. He said that pooch kick was dumb. Man, that was dumb as hell. So goddamn dumb. Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Forget losing the Valley. That game can't even be close. And that's the thing about it. It can be close, but guess what? If you lose, oh, man, he getting fired. I'm telling you right now. If they lose the Valley, Fred McNair is your interim head coach. No ifs, no ands, no buts about it. Lose the Valley, Fred McNair is your interim head coach. You know what I'm saying? So, man, EA said, Coach, that's overreacting. If you lose the Mississippi Valley, that's on the second game. But that's the problem, though. See, the thing you're not understanding, EA, is not just the loss, it's the optics of the loss. Essentially, losing the Valley is what got Stump Mitchell fired. That's what got Stump Mitchell fired, EA. It wasn't just the fact that they lost a game, Southern had a bad record. You lost the Valley. It's the optics of it, EA. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. And the whole, it's too early, it's too soon, we can't overreact. I said the same thing in my post-game reaction. You know, shout out to SWAC and the Fool. SWAC and the Fool, you know, they you know, from their perspective, they was more encouraged. Me, I was more pissed because I had to drive from Lake Charles to Baton Rouge with wet socks and wet underwear, and I couldn't stand that. And the fact that it's a year later, like literally almost to the day, minus a week. It's like, come on, man, you cannot be in the exact same situation a year later. You played on national TV, and I'm not gonna lie, North Carolina Central, dog walk Southern. And it wasn't that big a gap in talent, it was that big a gap in coaching. Truthfully speaking, so, hey, I know people be like, man, coach, you tripping. Hell, if I could trade Terrence Graves for Trey Oliver right now, I would do it in a Baton Rouge second, you did. Your boy Jay said, Stump got fired 2 weeks into the season by losing the Valley. It's definitely not overrated. I mean, that's my point. I mean, it's not an overreaction. It's not a reach. It's the fact that it's the optics of it. Man, you cannot rationalize or justify the Jaguar Nation losing the Valley. I wouldn't care if you put Jerry Rice in the time machine right now and he went back to his senior year of Valley. Losing the Valley will get you fired. Terrence Graves is gonna get fired if they lose the Valley. No two ways about it. You know what I'm saying? Time to beat men. I have never seen any Henry Miller defense play like that before. And that's the thing about it. The defense has carried Southern the last few years. And for them to have absolutely no pass rush whatsoever and can't stop a run. The defense couldn't stop a nosebleed tonight. The defensive backs playing 10 yards off. You know, they constantly, giving up quick slants and just quick passes in general. Couldn't stop the run. Couldn't rush the passer. Kelvin Givens just looking at his face at one point, he just looked frustrated as hell. You know what I'm saying? And 252, NC True, he said, y'all supposed to lose. I mean, it ain't the loss. It ain't just the loss. It's the way they lost. And it's how incompetent and inept the coaching staff look. So it ain't just the fact, hey, we supposed to lose. That's not the issue. It's not that the fact that we were supposed to lose. It was the fact how we looked losing. You know what I'm saying? Like the defense has carried you the last few years. The defense can stop a goddamn nosebleed. North Carolina Central punching us in the mouth in terms of just running the ball up, just running the ball down Southern defense stroke. Defensive backs playing way off. They playing pitch and catch. So even I'd have been cool with the defense just getting pushed around the way they did if Mark Frederick was just not such a trash offensive coordinator. That's the thing that just looks just terrible. It just looks bad. So that's my biggest issue, you know what I'm saying? And EA said, I feel you. Valley broke our brag winning streak with Cozy, but we have to give him time. No, I'm not gonna lie. Giving Cozy time, you know, I say that's cool for FAMU fan base, but I'm not gonna lie. Southern and the thing about it is FAMU and Southern is equivalent on the same level, and FAMU been kicking Southern ass for the longest at this point. But I'm not gonna lie, EA, Jaguar Nation will not stand for. And see, the thing about it is, if they'd have won this game here, cool. You'd have won this game, and then you turn around and Valley's a trap game. Then you turn around, you go to Valley, you lose. That's more justifiable. But you can't get dog walked by North Carolina Central this week, and then turn around next week and lose at Valley. Like, really, y'all might say it's too early in the season. It's a reach. It's overreacting. But I'm telling you, Terrence Graves' ass is on the hot seat. No two ways about it. Your boy Jay said, I want people to understand how crazy it is that Graves is listening to what Frederick wants to do on offense after how awful it's been for 2 years. And that's the thing about it, bro. Like, man, this dude was just trash last year as the offensive coordinator. And the irony is the only kind of good, decent half of play calling he had was, like just about the first half against Jackson State in the SWAC championship game. And then the second half, you just kind of reverted back to what you was doing, and that was it. So, I got hella five coaching friends. I got a lot of coaching friends. But if I know you a trash coach, I'm not gonna put you on my coaching staff and have you drag me down. So you're gonna get fired and I'm gonna get fired. Man, hey, bro, you can't do that. 252 NC True said, y'all ain't look that bad compared to y'all conference. Y'all good, North Carolina Central. Just the real deal. And it's the thing about it, 252 NC True. It's not that, I said it leading up to the game that North Carolina Central was the favorite. I understand that. And in addition to that, not only did I say it, it's the fact that realistically, the 31-14 score does not indicate how dominant North Carolina Central was. And my issue is, it's not even the defensive side. Because if you just say, hey, North Carolina Central got 9 returning starters on offense, and it was supposed to dog walk Southern defense, cool. But the issue, let's go to defense first. You got some defensive players that really should have been playing on that defensive line that didn't play. You got a few players that's in the secondary that should have played that didn't play. So that's the issue from a personnel standpoint, defensively. Now, offensively, man, you got all of these good backs. But it didn't mean shit. The reason it didn't mean nothing is because you got the glorified running back playing quarterback. He can throw a real short pass or a real deep pass. Nothing in between, nothing intermediate. And that was the issue. That's the huge issue. The issue is the offensive coordinator and the offense that you run. So that's the issue. So it's not just the fact that they lost to North Carolina Central. It's the way they lost. And they look real bad doing so. And they really exposed the coaching staff. I'm just going to keep it a buck. Minus Fred McNair, the coaching staff got exposed tonight, big time. He said, Coach, North Carolina Central offensive line all started last year. Their O-line is cohesive unit. Rarely in HBCU football do teams have O-lines like North Carolina Central line was in game one. Try not to be so. But see, that's the thing about it, Johnny Thornton. See, that's the thing about it. If I was being irrational, I would say you're wrong. I agree with you 100%. My issue is not so much so with the defense. My issue is with Mark Frederick in the offense. And not only that, but the decision to basically bench Jalen Woods 3.5 quarters because he missed the damn bus. Like, and that's the thing about it. I've had players on my team do dumb stuff, and I will punish them as long as they didn't get suspended for 3 days from school for fighting or something else. As long as you didn't get in a fight, you didn't get suspended for school or whatever the case may be, I'm suspending you the first half. I'm not going to suspend you 3.5 quarters just to try to prove a point. So that's my issue. I don't feel like Terrence Graves and his staff really legitimately tried to win the game. And then the poor clock management at the end of the first half. And not only that, but putting your big, strong physical power back in as opposed to one of your fast, speedy, quick third down type backs. It really, for the exception of Mike Franklin and Amarian Asbury, the rest of the backs are not as talented as Trey Holly, but they all kind of like similar to Trey Holly. So why not have one of those type of running backs in at the first half, the end of the first half, when you're trying to drive? To me, I just kind of feel like it was just stupid. You know what I'm saying? He said that's probably the problem with Southern. They are good against most of the SWAC, but when it comes to the upper level teams, and that's the issue though. That's the problem with Southern, is when you put them against elite level competition, put them against Jackson State, you put them against FAMU, you put them against North Carolina Central, you put them against Nicholls State, you put them against McNeese State. This is the kind of games we get. So Jaguar Nation is not going to be content with you beating Texas Southern and Mississippi Valley and some of the teams you beaten. And not only that, but this year, you got to go on the road and you got to go to Longman and play against Alcorn State at Alcorn State. Bro, like, I'm going to keep it a buck. It could get real ugly real quick for Coach Graves if he don't turn things around immediately. Time to be men. No men. He said no motion, no new plays, no tight end, running backs, or wide receiver screens, barely pass the ball, etc. He said, I'll go on. And that's the thing about it, time to be men. It's like you give us the same bland, boring ass, vanilla ass, garbage ass offenses last year. It's like it's the same old stuff. Really, I'm not gonna lie. The same issues you got to start this season, you had the same issues at the start of last season. It's like, come on, man. Like, at some point, you got to be like, all right, hey, we gotta change this crap around. You know what I'm saying? Your boy just said Jackson State old defensive coordinator basically disrespected Frederick, and he said his offense is extremely easy to defend, and Frederick did nothing about it. And that's the thing about it, bro. Like, my middle school spread offense is more complex than this. This is dumb as hell. Like, come on, man. You cannot be this bland and basic and vanilla. He says week 0, I'm interested in seeing the other quarterback. I mean, I think Jalen Woods, he showed me enough at the end of last season. Not only did he show me enough at the end of last season, he showed me enough in spring. And even tonight, like, the one pass where he stepped up in the pocket and he threw a dart, maybe like 10, 15 yards or whatever. I'm like, bro, like, that's the difference. Like, you know, just to be truthful, Cameron McCoy has no intermediate passing game whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? MEAC Mike said, SU has too much talent to lose to Valley. A loss to Valley is unpardonable. Oh, no, I'm not going to lie. After the night's, like, thorough ass whooping, truthfully speaking, you cannot justify or rationalize not beating Valley thoroughly. If Coach Graves, I'm telling you right now, if they go to Valley and they lose, he's going to get fired. Fred McNair will be your new interim head coach at Southern. No two ways about it. EA said, Johnny Thornton, stop the victory lap. Y'all won, but I wasn't impressed. BTA and brag. Your boy JC. This the same level of scheduling that got Dooley fired. Man, I'm not gonna lie. The way it's looking, I know some people gonna say it's way too early to say. The way it's looking, I hate to say it. I think Terrence Graves getting fired. Adrian Crook said, he said, ain't blank in the world will stop me from starting Woods. He could have slapped Mark. Man, that's the thing about it. Even if, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't be as pissed if he would have started in the second half. But for you to just stick with this dude, you know, my mom trying to come in. I'm like, bro, like, why you got this goddamn glorified running back? This is Ladarius Skelton 2.0 at best. And Adrian Crook said, that's the McCoy package. Start. Your boy Jay said, I hope this Jalen Woods thing isn't another Bubba McDaniel. And that's the thing about it. That whole Glenn Bubba McDaniel, Sean McCray situation, that's really what got. That's really, 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 really what got Eric Dooley fired. The not being a man and just being honest about, fam, you dropping 8 at AW when I'm a goddamn coach sitting in the stands, seeing that they're not playing prevent and they're not dropping 8. Like, all the other stuff was just kind of like icing on the cake. But the Glenn Bubba McDaniel situation is really what got his ass fired. You know what I'm saying? He said Crook, he could have slapped Graves too. Still playing. No, for real. That's the thing about it. Like, man, look. If you bench him for the first half, cool. But for you to bench him for 3.5 quarters, man, to me, that's excessive. That is excessive, bro. Yeah. Shit, he could have slapped Graves. And he still would have played. That's how I feel. He said, D-Lob, hell yeah, at half, McCoy, done. They made him. And that's the thing about it. I said the same thing, Crook. I'm like, look, bro. McCoy played the first half, cool. Get him the hell out of there. Get him out of there. You know, so that's the thing that pissed me off. You know what I'm saying? And your boy Jay said, you don't bench your best signal caller for 90% of the game just because he missed the bus one time. He's been here 2 years and never missed the bus before. And that's the thing about it, bro. That's the thing that just pissed me off with Graves, bro. It's like, bro, you trying to stand on your soapbox and make this damn prove a point? Prove a point for what, bro? You know what I'm saying? So, I ain't gonna lie, bro. At the end of the day, Coach Graves and his entire coaching staff, tonight, they need to do some soul searching. I don't even drink. But if Big Joe sent me a bottle of Old Hillside, I'll be in the bottom of the bottle tonight. You know what I'm saying? Man, this shit just was hard to watch. I don't even like coaching. I'm a coach. I don't even like cursing like that. But, man, it pissed me off tonight. That's why I'm up in here cussing the storm. It is what it is. EA said, if Woods don't start next week, will he jump in the portal? I think it's too early to tell, but I'm going to be honest with you. I think you're going to lose him eventually if he don't start next week. He got to start next week. And Adrian Cook said, F that bust. I agree with you. And that's the thing about it. If you just bench him for the first half, cool. Benching him for three and a half quarters. Man, come on. Like your boy Jay said, 90% of the goddamn game. By the time they put him in, the game was over. So really, you could have kept him on the sideline for that. And I'm not going to lie, I looked in his face during the game. When the camera was pointing in his face, Jalen Woods looked so pissed and just dejected. I'm like, bro, it's some sorry-ass coaching, bro. So it all makes sense, the fact that he missed the bus, but the hell with that. Missing the bus don't rationalize you benching a boy for damn near the whole game, you know what I'm saying? Your boy Jay say, watch Graves get into the press conference on Tuesday and say they are making adjustments and come out looking the exact same versus better. I agree with you 100%. Avis Heat said, you got to have discipline. Yeah, you got to have discipline, but guess what? Missing the bus don't warrant you being benched for damn near the whole game. You can't justify that to me. I done been in a situation where, guess what? In fact, hell, I done had a situation where a player did something he wasn't supposed to do. He was supposed to go to after school detention. And I say, hey, look, bro, I know your brother is now deceased, but you got after school detention. Bring your ass to after school detention after school. I was supposed to walk him there, but guess what? The principal called me, and since I was the head of the department for the P staff, called us in the office. This little nigga got on the bus. Now, in that situation now, I'm like, you know what? I told you what to do, and your ass intentionally did the opposite. So I'm like, F you. You ain't playing. Now, in that situation there, yeah, that I had to prove a point to him. But in this scenario, man, the boy Mr. Bus, man, you can't justify benching him the whole damn game for that. Just about time to be men say you have one of the most talented wide receiver rooms, one of the best tight ends, and you don't use any of them. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the passing game was just so trash. Adrian Cook said McCoy just an extra toy. I agree, 100%. Yup, the McCray situation was the last straw. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, Jared Loving Green. That's really what caused Dooley his job at the end of the day. EA said also for Holly, if they 1-3 after 4 games, he shouldn't blow a year and jump. He shouldn't blow a year and jump in the portal with film. Damn. Juke for Life say Fred McNair might end up being the coach by the shit. Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. Juke for Life. Hey, you giving Graves way too long a leash. Hell, I'll probably say definitely by FAMU shit. Hey, Graves will be gone if he keep going the way he's going right now. Your boy just said people didn't notice. Graves didn't make adjustments till after we got beat up. McNeese, Nickel State, and Jackson State. We went 5 weeks without adjustments. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. He got exposed thoroughly tonight. Merlin A said, "What up, folks? I'm late." Man, I'm not gonna lie. You basically you missed me just pretty much roasting Terrence Graves and damn for sure roasting Mark Frederick with his garbage ass play calling. You know what I'm saying? Black said, risking your job because he missed the bus. Yeah, that's dumb as hell to me. You know what I'm saying? The boy just said, last year Graves didn't make adjustments till you see got hot after the Nickel State loss. But real, I'm not gonna lie. After that Nickel State loss, I was ready to fire that nigga in. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Crook said EA still beating your ass though. EA was the quarterback. What man? Hey, bro. If it was ever in question, it shouldn't be in question now. Jalen Woods is clearly the starting quarterback. No two ways about it. Evans, he said, discipline pays off in the end. I agree with you, Adrian Cook, man. F that, man. Dooley risked $300K by being stubborn. I wouldn't put it past Graves. Most head coaches are stubborn. Some are just good at their jobs, and Graves ain't. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest. I never had that kind of ego. Me, I was always willing to do whatever it took to get the goddamn job done. Hey, I won't line up in the I pro, and just run the ball down your throat. But guess what? If I could line up in 4 and 5 wides and beat you, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to win. You know what I'm saying? So Merlin A said Woods makes the quickest reads. We said that. I've been saying that. Like, hey, when he came in the game against Bethune, man, how quick that boy pulled the ball and threw the slant and going through his progression. Man, I'm not gonna lie, he a guy. No two ways about it. Dr. James Smith said Jalen looked much more poised. He is. He is clearly the starting quarterback. If you start McCoy next week, it's just because you dumb as hell. Period. Black said he saw how we fired Dooley and he go out and do this dumb ass. Man, I'm not gonna lie, bro. This man, Graves just got me so heated, bro. Time to beat man said, now we see why Attorney Clayton didn't want to be hired. Want Graves to be hired. Yeah. Adrian Cook said McCoy was supposed to take the damn sack. Live to fight another day. Yep. Your boy just said Tony Clayton went on Jaguar Journal and basically said he hated the hire and wanted somebody outside the SWAC bubble. EA said after seeing this tonight, PV really coming off the heel. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest with you. By that point, EA, to keep it a buck, Fred McNair probably a head coach by that point. Juice HD said Givens didn't look like he wanted to be out there. I'm not gonna lie, he looked highly frustrated. I'm not gonna lie. McCoy even overthrew his favorite route. And that's the thing about it, bro. He overthrew Darren Morris twice. Not once, no. He overthrew him twice. McCoy did a great job. The problem is your receivers. Hell no. The problem is Avis Heat is that McCoy overthrew Darren Morris, not once but twice. Shy 20 said, why do coaches want to lean on their system more than making the changes that looks like common sense to everyone? I mean, it was so common sense. Your boy just said Givens was basically 1 versus 5 tonight. I wouldn't blame him. I'm not gonna lie. Those other 3 defensive linemen, in my opinion, was the subs. They was just there. They were warm bodies. They really wasn't even a factor. Adrian could say EA go tonight. Family, Dave. All right. Black said, you said the FAMU game. I'm giving him until Alabama State. Hey, I agree with you, Black. I agree with you 100%. Because guess what? It is what it is. Because, hey, you lose the Valley. First of all, if you lose the Valley, he done. But shit. Lose the Bama State at home. Yeah, he probably cooked in too. Definitely you lose to Jackson, you done. So, I mean, hey, as he said, that ball hit him in the hands. That's that one pass that Darren Morris dropped. What about the other 2 McCoy overthrew? Come on, Avis. We know you Jazz shoe, but come on, man. Keep it a buck. Adrian said, EA, you're going to be wearing a thong fishing sweater. On PCB. Your boy Jay said Alabama State. I'm giving him till next week in Valley. If they lose the Valley, yeah, your boy Jay, you're right. He's definitely done. He done. You know what I'm saying? Adrian Cook said for the SWAC championship. Juice HD said 425 scheme. Shelby helps when you don't have enough depth. Yeah, but I'm still pissed. I'm highly pissed. You know, ordinarily I'll go down. I appreciate everybody that came through, swacking the fool. You know, MEAC Mike. I mean, I appreciate everybody that just came through, but I'd have been on here over an hour and a half, you know, talking about Coach Graves and his coaching staff. Sorry ass performance tonight. I think I'm gonna pick it up again tomorrow. I'm gonna talk about this sorry ass coaching performance tonight. I'm gonna catch y'all on the rebound. Y'all have a blessed and phenomenal evening. I appreciate everybody that came through and showed love. Y'all have a blessed evening. Peace and blessings.